Hey Fit Fam, how's it going? Coach Paul coming back at you, y'all. Another Trainer Tip Tuesday. Okay, so I want to kind of backtrack a little bit about some things that we've talked about. So we talked about deadlifts before and sumo deadlifts, right? Okay, so we're gonna go into maybe like you can say a little more in depth with this deadlift as far as the hinging motion goes. Okay, now, fam, I want you to think about this. Okay, hinging motion is all on the hips. Now, to start with all alignment, because that's one of the main things as far as the 5 components of fitness, is going to be alignment. Okay, that's one of the main ones. Now, so alignment. Okay, so when you get ready, you stand for this. Okay, I don't have my weight yet, but I'm already prepping my stance. Shoulder width apart, and make sure my hips are tucked in. Okay, I'm pretty sure you can see in the camera. All right, my lower back is not like this. It's not doing this number. When I'm sticking out, that's hyperextending your lumbar. So that's a very bad position to perform any type of lift. Now, let me show example why for this deadlift, okay? If I'm rounding out on this back, so check out my back the entire time. Okay, if I'm coming up and I keep it like this, that's gonna put lots of tension. Even though I'm hinging properly, I'm feeling a lot in that lower back. And that's gonna cause you to stiffen up, and that's gonna cause more pain on the inside, okay? And those hip, well, not necessarily hip flexors, okay, but more towards the inside of the groin area, okay? Those are some things that we don't want to happen, as well with that overarching that lower back. If you come up and you're overarching that lower back and you lean back like so, oh, like, I mean, I know I'm keeping it relatively light, but still, you can feel, I can feel just a little bit of pinching in that lower back or mid-lower back. So really important that you always keep these hips tucked in like so. Now notice the difference as I squat it down. Yes, I will squat to pick up the weight, but now as I come up, tuck in those hips, my hands are inside the thighs, okay? Now, hinge, meaning push your butt back. Now, as you push your butt back, your front half of the body would naturally fall down. Now, as you notice in that slow and controlled descent, as I push my hips back, your knees are going to slightly externally rotate. They're going to create that tension. You start to feel your glutes all in here start to ignite, all along your quads, little hamstring, okay? Shoulders are back. Now, from this position, as you can see, now my hips, they form. Now I can see it and I know it, okay? From my posture, okay? Imaginary line is going from here to there, okay? So my upper torso, okay, or like this. Now, that's the hinging motion. You will naturally have the front of your body, meaning your upper chest, your torso, will naturally gravitate and fall forward as you hinge, even without a weight. Try that out without a weight. Put your hands on your hips, tuck them in, feel your glutes, feel, tighten up. So you're gonna hinge at those hips. Now as you start to hinge, now your feet are gonna be very important. I don't know if you can see my feet on there, but I took my shoes off for a reason, okay? You can still do this through your shoes, okay? Now, as I hinge, I'm gonna grab this floor with my feet. I'm gonna really drive my feet, not just my heels, okay? But you wanna create what they call a tripod stance, meaning you want all of your pressure, front of your toes, okay, balls of your feet, to the heel, okay? So it's centered. So as I am hinging back with this deadlift, okay, shoulders are back, shoulder width apart, hips are tucked in. As I start to hinge backwards here, okay, you would notice that as I drop down on my chest, a little forward here. Now pull back right so, tuck in those hips, you'll notice a little bit further depth. Now the knees, they don't go past the toes, which is very important. But now my feet, you see how they stay stagnant, they stay firm? But as you push out, your knees will start to try to go out a little bit because it creates that tension. Drive straight down into that floor to finish that deadlift. Shoulders are back, breathe them in, brace that core, right back up. You don't always have to necessarily tap the mat. If you do, sometimes you round out, that's bad. If you come up like so, that's gonna hurt your upper back, your neck, sometimes shoulders injury. So always roll those shoulders back. Again, kettlebell sits in those hips or in between the inside the thighs there. Hinging, again, Create that tension with your feet, tripod. All right, now straight down to that floor, right back up. To where if you do that, if you grab the floor with your feet and press straight down to that floor, you're gonna feel your quads. You feel your glutes, okay? Sometimes the upper body is total body exercise movement, okay? Now, reverting back, like I said, I'm gonna backtrack on this hinging motion stuff. So, think about the door, okay? You know, a door is gonna just fly open, right? From the door hinge, just, right? Same with your hips, okay? It's gotta hinge on the hips, bring them back, okay? So, again, 3 points, maybe 4, that we really wanna focus on when we get this deadlift. First things first, always your stance, always. Shoulder width apart. If you're a little bit taller, okay, I'm like 5'7", 5'8" on a good day, okay? So my feet would naturally, it's better for my hips, okay, my comfortability, my range of motion, to be about right here with my toes slightly out. Some folks, if you're taller, okay, you're 5'11", maybe you're 5'12", or 6 foot, yeah, they will have to step out a little bit wider. So now if you're shorter than me, think about it. You're gonna have to bring your stance in just a little bit, play with your stance a little bit to where you get that full range of motion with these hips, okay? So again, first things first, feet are firmly planted. I'm sorry, forgive me guys, okay? Hips are tucked in. We're gonna squat down and pick this up, pull back on this weight because it is a pull. So push straight down into the floor and pull this kettlebell in a straight line up. Now, when I talked about 4 main points, so 1 is your feet, 2 is those shoulders, 3 is the hips and core, they're combined. Okay, now 4 is gonna be this neck positioning, okay? Very, 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 very important that we keep this head as neutral as possible. It follows the shoulders as you go, even as you lower down and as you pick this weight up. Don't do this where your head is up. Now that is a old way that most, have you ever played high school sports? You know what I'm talking about. They teach you, look up, look up, look up. Even when they squat, we're not gonna go into that right now. But think about that. If we talked about, I said, there's 5 main components to fitness, right? Number 1 is alignment. Now, if you're doing this number, you're hinged, okay, let's get it all right. Feet are planted, shoulders back, tucking those hips. I'm gonna hinge on my hips, now I'm gonna look up, look up, look up. Look at my neck. That is not a safe position for my neck to be in. But even as I talk, guys, that strains my neck, just doing that. It can cause numerous things as far as injury related wise. It can also be very detrimental to some nerve endings there. We have lots of nerves here, not just muscles, but it does show up into your neck area. So that could strain, you can pull, pinch a nerve. You could even suffer a long-term injury by not being safe with a deadlift. So make sure that this chin is always gonna be tucked. Think about you having a ball, a baseball, lacrosse ball, tennis ball, even a piece of fruit is a good example. So it's almost like the size of your fist, right? Think about it. Put your fist there the entire time and you need to stay with it. My head's gonna stay neutral. Even as I hinge, that's the way your neck should be the entire time through a deadlift, any squat movement. Okay, so I hinge the hips, drop straight forward. I'm gonna push straight down to that mat, okay? So again, hinge, create that tension in those feet, straight line, pull those shoulders back, knees slightly go out, boom, nice and tall. Use those legs on that deadlift, okay? I really hope that helps out as far as figuring out the form with that kettlebell deadlift period, talking about those hips, that neck positioning, use your legs there. So again, a deadlift could be a great exercise to build overall total body strength. We just gotta make sure that we're focusing on the small, minor details because it goes a long way. Your feet, your hips, your neck, your grip, even the breathing, okay? Your breathing as you go down, exhale as you come up. So one more time, okay? Feet are firmly planted, about shoulder width. Toe slightly out. I'm gonna recenter, slight squat, I'm gonna pull back. Use my legs to push straight down to get my start position. Doesn't count yet, that's only getting to my start spot. Now I hinge, chin to chest. I'm gonna use my legs, shoulders are back, core is tight. All right, now ready? There we go. That is your proper deadlift. I hope that again helps you out, fam, clarify some things up. If not, let me know, ask questions. We can talk more about this. Yeah, deadlifts, hinging, push that butt back, okay? Get those hips in, chin to that chest. Hope that helps you out, fam.